fans, Conference USA and the University of South Carolina encourage and promote good sportsmanship by student athletes, coaches, and spectators. We kindly request your cooperation by sporting participants and the officials in a positive manner. Also, reminder to fans to ensure your safety. That the players, coaches, and officials, please stay off the pitch at all times. No fans on the playing surface. Thank you in advance for your cooperation and your attendance at tonight's match here at Stone Stadium. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Stone Stadium and tonight's matchup between the Wofford Terriers and your South Carolina Gamecocks. Let's meet our officials for this evening's contest. Our referee today is Sky Arthur Banning. Assistant referees are Wilmer Soriano and Anario Ojeda. And our ultimate official today is John Tanverdi. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let's meet today's starters. First from Wofford. Forward, a junior, number 2, Sam Ross. Also forward, a freshman, number 3, Xavier Anya Green. A defender, a senior, number 6, Kyle Nelson. A defender, a freshman, number 8, Ade Akin Jogbin. At midfield, a junior, number 10, Lucas Altman. Also in the middle, a sophomore, number 11, Zach Eversano. A defender, a senior, number 17, Graydon Kelly. In the midfield, a sophomore, number 19, Connor Donahue. And forward, a senior, number 21, Andres Surrey. In the midfield, a junior, number 23, Walt Stevens. And in goal for the Terriers, a freshman, number 22, Shane Burson. Head coach for Wofford is Ralph Polson, and he's assisted by Jonathan Lagos and Thomas Valakonis. And now, ladies and gentlemen, let's meet the starting lineup for your South Carolina Gamecocks. At defender, a sophomore from Kapljinia, Bosnia-Herzegovina, number 3, Frano Buhatz. And forward, a junior from Steyr, Austria, number 7, Luca Meyer. And forward, a junior from Louisville, Kentucky, number 10, Tucker Monheimer. In the midfield, a sophomore from Stockholm, Sweden, number 11, Petter Solberg. In the midfield, a senior from Duluth, Georgia, number 12, Peyton Erickson. Also in the middle, a sophomore from San Antonio, Texas, number 14, Justin Suko. A defender, a junior from Oslo, Norway, number 16, Alec Bjerke Christensen. A defender, a freshman from Chapin, South Carolina, number 21, Josh Corning. In the midfield, a sophomore from Asheville, North Carolina, number 22, Aiden O'Brien. A defender, a senior from Wolverhampton, England, number 26, Andre Street. And in goal for the Gamecocks, a senior from Kingston, Pennsylvania, number 0, Ian McGrain. In his 41st season as head coach of the Gamecocks is Mark Burson, and he's assisted by Justin Cook, Tyler Kettering, and Johnny Keene. Ladies and gentlemen, this time we ask that you please rise. Gentlemen, please remove your ball caps as we honor America with the playing of our national anthem. Veterans and active duty military not in uniform are encouraged to render the military style hand salute.
Greetings from Columbia, South Carolina, and welcome into historic Stone Stadium on the campus of the University of South Carolina as the 1-4 South Carolina Gamecocks play host to the 1-4-1 Terriers of Wofford. Hello, everybody. I am Birch Antley. Thanks for joining us on an absolutely gorgeous evening in Columbia, South Carolina, and we want to say our thoughts and prayers are with everyone that has been and is still impacted by Hurricane Florence, which hit South Carolina and North Carolina, doing damage throughout the PD region of the state of South Carolina and, of course, in North Carolina as well. And we hope everyone will be safe and will rebuild quickly and effortlessly. We are ready for soccer here at Stone Stadium. It has been a while since the South Carolina Gamecocks have played at their home stadium. South Carolina, their last win was here. It was against Lipscomb in a 2-1 come-from-behind victory over Lipscomb. The Gamecocks have since dropped matches to Clemson, to Florida Atlantic in Conference USA play. That was an overtime loss on the road at Florida Atlantic, 1-0, and at Furman, 2-1. Of course, last week's match against Marshall postponed due to Hurricane Florence impending arrival in South Carolina. That game has been rescheduled. It will be played later in October, as that was a Conference USA matchup. So South Carolina will indeed have that game against the Thundering Herd coming up later in the month of October. It will be held here at Stone Stadium in Columbia, South Carolina. The Wofford Terriers out of Spartanburg, South Carolina, in their road blacks with the gold trim, the gold letters and numerals. South Carolina in their home kits with the white tops, the white bottoms, the garnet numerals and letters with the black trim. It is Wofford attacking the goal to the right of your screen, and it is South Carolina's Ian McGrain between the pipes tonight. McGrain has started every game for South Carolina at goalkeeper this season. And McGrain, 21 saves, 7 goals against. Let's give you the starters real quickly for South Carolina. Not much has changed up top with Tucker Monheimer and Luca Meyer. You'll also see Justin Suko coming up from his midfield position, playing a bit of forward as well. Petter Solberg, Peyton Erickson, and Aiden O'Brien. O'Brien getting his third start, the 5'10 sophomore out of Asheville, North Carolina. In the back row for South Carolina, Franho Buhavitz, Josh Corning, the freshman out of Chapin, South Carolina, who has started and played every match this season for head coach Mark Burson, Birke Christensen, and the solid senior Andre Street, who is 100% healthy and a welcome addition to that back row for South Carolina. And, of course, Ian McGrain getting the start tonight at keeper for Wofford. Your starters, Sam Ross and Xavier Anyagri up top with Lucas Altman, Aversano, Donahue, and Andrew Surrey, the midfielders. Kyle Nelson, Ade Akinjagman, Drayden Kelly, and Walt Stevens, the back row with redshirt freshman. In goal, it is Burson for Wofford. That is Shane Burson, the redshirt freshman out of Greenville High School in Greenville, South Carolina. Gamecocks in the month of September honoring Ovarian Cancer Month as they are dressed in teal on the sidelines. That is a tradition that Mark Burson has started, and it will continue. And you may notice a new tradition that is beginning here. Have not seen this before. This is the first home game that we have ever seen. If you notice on the far sidelines, right above that graveyard shift sign there, you see the flags of the United States, the state of Texas, Finland, Austria, and others, Norway, Sweden. Representing the home countries and the home state of the Gamecock players. That home state being Texas, of the Gamecocks' leading goal scorer this year, Justin Suko, with 2 goals. No score just underway here in Columbia. Wofford attacking the goal to the right with their 1-4-1 record. Losses this season to High Point, UNC Asheville, UNLV, and Cal Baptist. Their last match was against Cal Baptist, and that was a 2-1 double overtime loss. The one win coming at Winthrop in Rock Hill, South Carolina, and the tie on the road at Gardner-Webb. South Carolina, a good ball over to Tucker Monheimer. Monheimer defends nicely, though, however. That was Draydon Kelly. Draydon Kelly, number 17, out of Windsor, Ontario in Canada, the 6'1 senior defender. Good use of the peroxide. And a nice mohawk going as well. So a corner kick coming up for South Carolina. Not much there for the Gamecocks. And another corner coming up. So back-to-back corner kicks here early in this match for South Carolina. No score. Into the 6th minute of play. Nice high ball into Franjo Buhavic. Buhavic, the 6'5 sophomore out of Bosnia and Herzegovina. Redshirt freshman Shane Burson sends it in. And it will be South Carolina ball over on the far side. For the Gamecocks, Luca Meyer will pull the trigger. Luca Meyer selected to the preseason All-Conference USA team. He's got triple assists. There was a big shot right there for Luca Meyer, just wide. I was going to say that Luca Meyer has yet to find the net this season for South Carolina. Through 5 matches, he has been involved in 2 of Justin Suko's goals, however, assisting Justin twice. Burson, big place kick in. Wofford will set their offense quickly. Wofford running with 3 up top right now. Interesting, this match for the Wofford Terriers. Moving Xavier Anyangari, typically a forward, moving him into a defensive role tonight. Anyangari, Xavier from Ghana and the Hotchkiss School, number 4. Watch out for him in the back row. He can move up from time to time. He has played in that forward position. South Carolina on possession. 2 shots so far for the Gamecocks. No score. Still just underway. Here on a Wednesday evening. Big boot in by Shane Burson, the redshirt freshman. 10 saves this season for Burson out of Greenville High School, the former Red Raider. There's Peyton Erickson in the center for South Carolina. Good ball over right side, Suko. Suko gets a quick restart into Luca Meyer. Meyer nicely done over to Tucker Meinheimer, but dispossessed by the Wofford Terriers. Good defense there by Wofford in the black. That is 2 nice defensive moves there that Draydon Kelly, the senior out of Windsor, Ontario, Canada, number 17, has made for the Terriers tonight. And we'll stop the clock. 34-34. 34 minutes, 34 seconds. Here in the first half with no score. South Carolina and Wofford. Gamecocks will take to the road this weekend for a trip up to Virginia in Norfolk, Old Dominion. And there's a goal for South Carolina. The Gamecocks strike first, and they strike early. A quick goal for South Carolina. Second career goal. Peyton Erickson, the senior, with just his second career goal out of Duluth, Georgia. Peyton Erickson putting South Carolina up 1-0. Here's Luca Meyer looking for more quickly. South Carolina really pressing the issue. Beautiful defensive play, however, for the Wofford Terriers there by Xavier and Yangari. And Yangari knifed in. Able to keep South Carolina at bay, but now South Carolina with a set piece coming up here. Luca Meyer in the back. Luca Meyer has nowhere to go, and it is Christensen. A little 50-50 ball there, but South Carolina, Aiden O'Brien maintains. Buhavitz Sets it back. Here's Bierke Christensen. Christensen right wing. One 0 South Carolina. The Gamecocks striking early. Peyton Erickson, his second career goal, his first goal of the season. The defender out of, or midfielder rather, out of Duluth, Georgia. South Carolina comes clear. Here's Suko near side. Suko out of San Antonio, Texas. South Carolina's leading goal scorer this season with 2. Wofford this season now has been outscored 9-3. Head coach Ralph Polson in his 11th season leading the Terriers. South Carolina, Suko. Dispossessed by Wofford. And here come the Terriers now with Lucas Altman. Altman bumps it ahead. Lucas Altman, the junior, 5'9", out of Johnson City, Tennessee, and Science Hill High School. That is the same high school where one Steve Spurrier was the quarterback. Luca Meyer passes near side. Suko. Now back Andre Street. Andre Street from Wolverhampton in England. Had the game winner against the ranked Kentucky Wildcats here at Stone Stadium 2 years ago. South Carolina will have Kentucky here at Stone this season. Luca Meyer, nice ball through. Right side. Saved by Burson. Corner kick coming up for the Gamecocks. Already the third corner for South Carolina coming up. In-swinger coming up here from Justin Suko. Gets it in quickly. Luca Meyer. Meyer trying to send it top of the formation. Josh Corning back there. Freshman out of Chapin has been solid this season for the Gamecocks. Nice soft ball to Tucker Monheimer, and it's going to be a corner coming up.
There's another South Carolina corner kick.
South Carolina, fourth corner of the half. Gamecocks lead 1-0, courtesy of Peyton Erickson's goal in the 11th minute. In the 15th minute here. And your score 1-0 South Carolina. South Carolina has dominated time of possession so far. Wofford is yet to take a shot. South Carolina maintains possession. Aiden O'Brien. Offsides. South Carolina. So Wofford with a chance to set their offense here. It will be Burson to send it in on the indirect. Nice stop and go there by Xavier and Nyangari. And Nyangari is from Ghana in the Hotchkiss School in Connecticut. Very talented 5'7" freshman. Kind of multi-tool player for head coach Ralph Polson. Polson relying on Xavier and his defensive prowess tonight against South Carolina, putting him in the back row. Wofford far side. Stop and go motion there for Ade Akinjogbon. Akinjogbon, the freshman from London, England. Good mix of in-state players for Wofford along with overseas players that have gotten some seasoning in the States as well. Speaking of Nyangari, who prepped at the Hotchkiss School in Connecticut, but is from Ghana. 'Tucker Monheimer for South Carolina puts the ball back with the Gamecocks. Here's Erickson. Erickson, good feet ahead. Can Monheimer catch up? Yes, you can, but there's another solid defensive play there by Draydon Kelly. That's the third of this half for Draydon Kelly. Five and a half minutes until halftime. Score South Carolina 1, Wofford 0. Gamecocks looking for their second win of the season. Wofford clears it away, but right back to South Carolina. There is Andre Street. Street, the senior leader. Suko now. And Meyer. Aiden O'Brien, long one, saved by Burson. Chasing it down far side. Wofford with Connor Donahue, the senior out of Greenville, South Carolina, won a state championship at Eastside High School with the Eagles. A couple of state championships in that locker room for Wofford here in the state of South Carolina with Sam Ross and Zach Aversano out of Wando High School. Soccer power in Mount Pleasant, South Carolina. Josh McGrain now, senior out of Kingston, Pennsylvania. Talk about patience for a young man. The epitome of patience. Waiting for his time to come. That is Ian McGrain. McGrain Spent a couple of years at Wisconsin Green Bay. Did not play. 2 seasons there. After transferring from Monroe College, Mark Burson gives McGrain a chance, and he makes the most of it. Transfers down to South Carolina after not playing in a college soccer game in 2 years.
Making his way onto the pitch, number 18, Andrew Halloran. Halloran replaces number 10,
Says
Tucker
that
Monheimer.
he can certainly do it, and he has produced. McGrain with 21 saves coming in, just 7 goals against.
Also coming on for Wofford, number 12, Ethan Willie. Ethan replaces number 21, Andreas Surrey.
So it's Ethan Willie coming on here for Wofford, replacing Andreas Surrey. Gamecocks on possession with a 1-0 lead. 21 minutes and some change until halftime. South Carolina scoring off of Peyton Erickson in the 11th minute. Just his 2nd career goal, first of the season. South Carolina in the white, attacking the goal to the left of your screen. Wofford in the black, operating on that goal to the right. Battling for position. Draydon Kelly is there again. Draydon Kelly. Windsor, Ontario, Canada, the 6'1" senior. In for South Carolina, number 18, Andrew Halloran. Halloran, the freshman out of Greer, South Carolina. Taking a look around Conference USA, South Carolina, their next match will be against Old Dominion. Old Dominion, FIU, Kentucky, and Florida Atlantic, the 4 undefeated teams right now in Conference USA. Old Dominion at 2-0, 4-1-1 overall. How about FIU? FIU, which scored a ton of goals a season ago. Overall, FIU 2-5, but guess what? In Conference USA, FIU, that's where it matters. They are 2-0 right now. Kentucky 1-0, 5-0-1 on the season. Florida Atlantic 1-0 in Conference USA play, 2-3 overall. Charlotte, Marshall, New Mexico, South Carolina, and UAB all winless in conference. UAB has played 2 matches within the conference. They are 0-2, 1-5-1 overall. South Carolina 0-1 at 1-4. New Mexico 0-1 and 2-5 overall. Marshall 2-3-1 overall, 0-1 in the conference, and Charlotte 0-1 in CUSA with a 3-1-1 overall record. Andre Street is there for South Carolina. Poked out of there by Ian McGrain. 50-50 here for South Carolina as they come away. Aiden O'Brien getting his third consecutive start. Looking for Luca Meyer there. Too long on that pass. Under 20 minutes to play now, 18:08 and counting. 1-0 South Carolina. Gamecocks will have one more home match this month. That's coming on the 29th against the 7th-ranked Wildcats of Kentucky. Kentucky undefeated right now, 5-0-1 overall, and 1-0 in Conference USA play. It's going to be a big match. Gamecocks have a big test, too, this weekend coming up on Coast Virginia, and let's hope that everything is A-OK up there as well with Old Dominion and the Monarchs. South Carolina will have to travel through the region of South Carolina and North Carolina gravely affected by Hurricane Florence. As a matter of fact, I-95 at the border right now completely shut down.
That foul whistle against the Gamecocks gives Wofford a free kick.
So a free kick coming up here for Wofford. They trail 1-0. Here's Wofford on possession near midfield. They'll swing it back to Xavier Anyagri. Anyagri pokes it over to Zach Aversano's way, number 11. Aversano is going to go far side. Nothing there for Akin Jogman. Akin Jogman, the freshman out of London. Back on possession, though, is Akin Jogman. Backside now, Zach Aversano. Aversano in that Gamecock logo. Sends it right side. Big header there by Kyle Nelson, the senior out of Austin, Texas. Cedar Ridge.
Substitution opportunity.
And a substitution opportunity coming up here.
Both teams for Wofford number 18.
Both clubs.
Number 23,
It's Ben Nichols coming in for Walt Stevens. And on for South Carolina, Jared Golden coming in for Petter Solberg. Throw in just underneath those flags there. Someone has added the Wofford flag to the lineup. Those flags over there representing the countries the Gamecock players. And you see the flag of Texas as well. The Republic of Texas for Justin Succo. Gamecocks play it near side. Josh Cornig. Cornig sets it up here for Succo. Succo, nice step over. Succo, good stop and go. Runs into traffic, however, and is dispossessed. .13 minutes until intermission. South Carolina leads 1-0. Goal coming in the 11th minute off of Peyton Erickson. Second career goal for the senior, first of the season. cloudless sky here at dusk. The capital city of Columbia, South Carolina, Stone Stadium, affectionately known as the Graveyard, the House of Peace, just behind the tree line. An actual graveyard. Suko. Long pass over, far side. Peyton Erickson is there for the Gamecocks to keep it alive. Jared Golden now dishes off right wing. Tripped up, all ball though. Long possession here for the Gamecocks. As we come under 12 minutes to play, here's Andre Street in the center. Crossing, looking for Luca Meyer, nothing there.
Substitution opportunity for the Gamecocks coming on is number 17. That's Benjamin Gilligan.
So Benjamin Gilligan out of Aiken, South Carolina comes on. Luca Meyer will get a break as Luca Meyer trots off. And for Wofford, substitution as well, coming on number 34, Christian Wammeldorf, the junior out of Sarasota, Florida. Checking in for Zach Iversano in that midfield. Under 11 minutes now until halftime. Score still remains 1-0 South Carolina, leading Wofford here. Non-conference matchup for both schools.
That foul against Wofford. Near the House of Peace, it'll result in a direct kick for the Gamecocks.
Free kick coming up, South Carolina. There's a save by Burson. Taking away that heading opportunity there by Benjamin Gilligan, who just checked in for the Gamecocks. Now we go under 10 minutes to play, 9:55 and counting here in the first half. High, 50-50 ball. South Carolina has it. Now taken away by Wofford. Wofford with a bit of a break here. Wofford has yet to take a solid shot. Really nothing on goal, anything near frame for Ian McGrain and the Gamecocks.
Foul against Wofford at midfield stripe gives the Gamecocks
Foul,
free kick.
midfield stripe there. Hurricane Florence also impacted the Wofford schedule. They were supposed to play Bowling Green on Saturday in Spartanburg. That match was canceled. Next match for Wofford will be against a Conference USA opponent. They've got Charlotte coming into Spartanburg on Tuesday, September 25th. Big match on the road in Durham, North Carolina to play Duke on October 2nd. Then in conference against East Tennessee at Snyder Field in Wofford on October 6th. UNC Greensboro, Mercer, at Furman, then Belmont at VMI, and then they close out the season out of conference against USC Upstate. And then the Southern Conference tournament will begin on November 3rd.
Work up the noise level on these corner kicks. Corning's in, swing and restart play. Come on, Gamecock fans.
Outside corner. Andre Street pops it up. Gamecocks trying to maintain, but it's going to be a foul there against the Gamecocks, and a direct coming up here for Wofford with 8:13 to play. In the first half, 1-0 South Carolina. Donahue for Wofford has his pocket pick. South Carolina has been very aggressive on defense, really disallowing Wofford to get any sort of offense in motion. South Carolina has really maintained the pace of play. South Carolina maintaining the time of possession as well. And that's reflective on the scoreboard, with South Carolina taking 8 shots, none for Wofford.
Substitution opportunity coming on for Wofford is number 34.
And South Carolina leading 1-0.
Gabriel Mesa. They take the place of number 11, Zach Aversano, and number 8.
Number 16, Gabriel Mesa coming in from
number 2, that's Mitchell Myers.
Fort Lauderdale, Florida, the sophomore for Wofford, number 16, Gabriel Mesa. Wofford will reset here in front of the South Carolina bench. And Yagri pulling the trigger. Now under 7 minutes to play until halftime.
Substitution for Wofford. Going on to number 26, Brett Goodman. Brett will take the place of number 18, Ben Nickel.
So Ben Nickel coming out for Wofford. Brett Goodman on, freshman out of Savannah, Georgia. Relatively young team that Coach Ralph Polson is fielding here for Wofford. Polson in his 11th season.
Ian McGrain to take the free kick for the Gamecocks.
.5:35 remaining here in the first half.
Gamecocks whistle for the foul, just outside the center circle. Gives the Terriers a free kick.
.421 left. South Carolina on possession. Right side. Suko tied up, tangled up there by Dredon Kelly. This very easily could be a 3-0 match right now had it not been for Dredon Kelly. It's a good ball there for Wofford. First shot and a save there for Emma Green. Corner kick coming up.
Corner kick, Terriers.
First of the night for the Terriers.
Take the corner kick, be Connor Donahue.
Donahue will pull the trigger near side. And the Gamecocks deter Wofford on that corner opportunity, and the Gamecocks come down with possession here. Andrew Hellerman would have been offside had that ball been set down. Wofford possession again. Nice step over there, Wofford and Yangari. Now back here to Nelson, Kyle Nelson. One of 3 seniors in the starting formation. Check it, one of 4 is Kyle Nelson, Dredon Kelly, Connor Donahue, and Andrea Surrey. All a year away from graduate school. Nelson comes away for Wofford. The orange boots, and here Wofford trying to get numbers together, but South Carolina collapses on defense, gets back quickly. Now Andrew Halloran. Halloran, nice step over the Riverside High School product, just a freshman who has played well at times this season. Gamecocks really expecting a lot out of Halloran. 4-year starter there at Riverside. Now the Gamecocks, Benjamin Gilligan runs into a wall known as Kyle Nelson.
One minute remaining in the first
1 minute
half.
remaining here in the first half. 1-0 South Carolina. Wofford on possession here. Wofford in the black and gold, attacking the goal to the right. Ethan Willie, number 12 on the pitch from the Bahamas. Frano Buhavitz trying to clear it away for South Carolina. Will maintain with Wofford here, and the Terriers less than 30 seconds to play until halftime. And Emma Green walking at a snail's pace
9, 8,
to
7,
collect, and that
6,
will be it for
5, 4,
the first half of action, with
3,
South Carolina leading 1-0, courtesy of Peyton Erickson in the 11th minute. Peyton's second career goal for the senior, first of the season, in South Carolina leading Wofford after 1-0. Stay with us. Second half coming up.
Fans, remind for your safety, the Athletics Department has implemented a clear bag policy for all ticketed athletic events. Fans are only able to carry clear plastic Please join the Ovarian Cancer Coalition to Center South Carolina September 20th, 2018 for their annual Whisper
Welcome back to Columbia, South Carolina, and historic Stone Stadium on the campus of the University of South Carolina for Gamecock soccer. Bert Chantley here with you as we're ready to begin the second half of action. South Carolina taking the 1-0 lead in the first half in the 11th minute. Behind Peyton Erickson, the senior, getting his second career goal and his first of the season. So South Carolina in the whites, garnet numerals and letters, Wofford in the black with the gold numerals, gold letters. Wofford will be attacking the goal to the left of your screen here in the second half, where South Carolina has a new keeper in place. First action of the season for the Gamecocks, Justin Bauer, the sophomore out of Oviedo, Florida. Taking the place of Ian McGrain. McGrain having a very easy-going first half. Nothing strenuous at all for Ian McGrain, as Wofford only getting off one shot in the first. Actually, 2 shots officially for the Terriers in the first half. McGrain credited with 3 saves. Check that, with 1 save, rather. 3 saves credited for Wofford's Shane Burson. 1-0 South Carolina. Just underway here in the second half. Gamecocks moving left or right. On your screen, Wofford will be moving right to left. Wofford, Dredon Kelly. Now, Wofford with Ethan Willie, the freshman from Nassau in the Bahamas. Willie with 1 goal this season. Wofford will send it back to Shane Burson, the redshirt freshman, 6'3", out of Greenville, South Carolina, coming in with 10 saves this season. He's got 3 here tonight, so 13 for the year. 8 goals against. 1 allowed here tonight. Coming off the penalty kick by Peyton Erickson. Wofford with Walt Stevens from Greenwood. Sends it ahead to Donahue, and Donahue just wide.
Corner kick awarded to Wofford.
Missing to his narrow side there. Left post.
First of the second half, third of the match. Taking corner kick number 11, Zach Aversano will restart play.
So Zach Aversano with the corner here for the Terriers. 41-34 remaining in this match, just underway here in the second half. Gamecocks leading 1-0 if you're just joining us. Wofford set piece. Disrupted by the Gamecocks. But it will be another try here for Wofford from the far side. Run and throw in. Gamecock keeper is number 1, Justin Bauer, 6'2", out of Oviedo, Florida. Wofford. Lucas Altman from Johnson City, Tennessee. Science Hill High School, same high school where
Wofford
Steve
judges the
Spurrier,
offside position is indicated by the assistant referee.
former
That will bring an indirect
Gamecock head
kick
coach,
as a result.
the other football, was a quarterback before winning the Heisman Trophy down at Florida. Not much of a threat there, and Wofford will track it down near side as we go under 40 minutes to play here in Columbia. Luca Meyer will pass over. We'll get away to the freshman from Chapin, Josh Corning. Now here's Aiden O'Brien, number 22 for South Carolina, the sophomore out of Asheville, North Carolina. That serve wide. Will not go down as a shot attempt. Not in this book. It will be 8 shots still on the board for the Gamecocks, 4 taken by the Terriers. The Gamecocks lead 1-0. 38 minutes to play. We have this non-conference matchup for both squads. Andre Street looking forward, and coming out is Bauer. Tristan Bauer for South Carolina getting his first action of the season coming in tonight here at home. First home action. Peyton Erickson, midfield for the Gamecocks. Near side, Birke Christensen. Christensen from Oslo in Norway. Wofford sends it midfield, trying to come down with it to Sam Ross. Ross collects, and Ross will send it back over to Walt Stevens. Walt Stevens out of Greenwood, South Carolina, the junior, 5'8". Same high school that presented South Carolina with Mac McManus. Nice clear there by Nelson, diving in head first. That's a second. Second nice play for the defender, Kyle Nelson. Had one glorious play in the first half. And it's been all South Carolina here tonight so far. There's a stab taken by Shane Burson. Burson. Give him 4 saves on the evening. Now 14 on the season. South Carolina clears it out of the box, and it is South Carolina now working midfield. It's Tucker Monheimer. Monheimer pushes it over to Suko. Suko far side, and Suko will send it back. 55th minute of action here in Columbia, South Carolina at historic Stone Stadium, affectionately known as the Graveyard in South Carolina. The Gamecocks leading Wofford, the Terriers, 1-0 here. Carolina with 9 shots. One that counted a penalty kick off the foot of Peyton Erickson, the senior out of Duluth, Georgia. Wofford now with Walt Stevens. Walt Stevens has his pocket pick. That's Frano Buhavitz. Buhavitz will send it back over to Bauer. Bauer will reset for Gamecocks. Carolina now. Middle line. Carolina would have been offsides had that ball flown through. 33:50 left in this match. 1-0 South Carolina. It's been a very cleanly officiated match so far. Now the Gamecocks trying to set a little run, but dispossessed by Wofford. Good job knifing in there. Matthew Reynolds, check that, that was Sam Ross. And there's going to be a foul as Bjerke Christensen goes down hard. It's going to be Donahue. Nope, it's going to be number 23, Walt Stevens, junior from Greenwood. Stevens pleading his case there with the official. Christensen is back up, vertical, 32-18. And Bauer with a free kick. Wofford trying to set their offense here. Donahue. That pass too forward. Straight on Kelly again. Number 17 for Wofford. Really like the way Kelly plays on that back line. And he's certainly hard to miss with the blonde mohawk as well.
Header wide, orange boots. 12, thanks.
Header there wide. Off the chance there from Ethan Willie, the freshman out of the Bahamas, Nassau. Christian Wommeldorf getting set to come in, taking the place of Zach Aversano when Wofford gets a stoppage. There is Aversano. Aversano loses control. South Carolina's Aiden O'Brien will send it left foot back Peyton Erickson's way, and Erickson finds Andre Street over there, far side. See, a new tradition that has begun here at Stone Stadium with the flags. The Flags from right to left on your screen. You see the USA flag and then the flag of the state of Texas. That is for Justin Suko. Then Iceland, Bosnia and Herzegovina, Austria, England, then you have Sweden, Germany, and Norway, and then someone from Spartanburg has hung the national flag of Wofford up as well. We'll see if someone from the Commonwealth of Kentucky will dare hang one. The next home match here for South Carolina when they play the Wildcats in 2 weeks. Right side Gamecocks. Birke Christensen centering pass and is cleared away by Wofford, but back to Carolina here. There's Fano Buhavic. He represents the flag of Bosnia and Herzegovina. Now Andre Street. A flag from England. There's a shot and save right in the breadbasket of Bauer. That shot there taken by Walt Stevens. Walt Stevens, just his first shot taken of the season. Burson plays it in. Carolina. Carolina with a 1-0 lead over Wofford right now. South Carolina looking to rebound from 3 consecutive losses. .26 minutes remaining here in Columbia, South Carolina at Stone Stadium. 1-0 Gamecocks. And Carolina with possession, attacking that goal to the right. There's Peyton Erickson. Erickson with the goal in the first half, his second of his career, the senior from Duluth, Georgia. Gamecocks are trying to find a sprinting Tucker Monheimer. Unable to do so. Now here is Birke Christensen near side. Christensen. From Oslo in Norway. Right side. Tucker Monheimer's going to pass it over to Luca Meyer, and there's his first goal of the season. Luca Meyer from Steyr, Austria strikes for the first time in 2018, and a beautiful pass from Tucker Monheimer that was really set up by Birke Christensen 30 yards away. You've got to give Birke Christensen a lot of credit on getting that play rolling for South Carolina, and it's 2-0 now, Gamecocks. Luca Meyer getting his first goal of the season, the preseason All-Conference USA nominee. A prolific goal scorer, and he notches his first there. Beautiful back and forth between Tucker Monheimer and Luca Meyer.
And Peyton Erickson, and that makes the score. Carolina 2, Wofford 0.
Got to set that up, too, for Birke Christensen and also Peyton Erickson. Forgot to mention Erickson in that sequence. It was he and Birke. Gamecocks, Peter Solberg. Solberg quiet first half. Solberg did take one shot. And it was on goal in that first, though. Gamecocks now far side. Carolina leading 2-0. There's a shot and a goal, South Carolina. A sublime goal. Over on that far side for the Gamecocks. Carolina leading 3-0.
South Carolina goal. The goal on 67 minutes in the goal score for South Carolina. Number 10, Tucker Monheimer with his second of the year, and that was assisted by number 21, Josh Corning, and that makes the score. Carolina 3.
Tucker Monheimer, his second goal of the season. 67th minute, and South Carolina leading now 3-0. Most goals scored in a match so far for the Gamecocks. They had scored 2 earlier this season in that lone win, coming against Lipscomb in the second match of the season here at Stone Stadium. Gamecocks dropped a heartbreaker in overtime to 13th ranked Hoyas of Georgetown to open the season here at Stone. Lost to Clemson 2-0, Florida Atlantic in overtime 1-0, and Furman 2-1. 2 quick goals here in the second half for the Gamecocks.
Myers with the free kick.
Luca Meyer and then Tucker Monheimer. And there's another one for the Carolina Gamecocks. A wide open piece for Carolina. And it's the Gamecocks now 4-0. All over the Terriers of Wofford. Peter Solberg with his first goal of the season, first of his career as well. No assist there. 68th minute. Peter Solberg, and now South Carolina looking to keep the pedal to the metal here. Gamecocks with 3 goals here in the second half in a span of 3 minutes. Meyer, Monheimer, and Solberg. Foul there on the Terriers. 21 minutes left to play, 21 and a half rather. Here from Stone Stadium where Carolina looking to break that 3-game losing skid. Breaking out in a big way so far, leading Wofford 4-0. And another one, South Carolina just pouring it on as Justin Suko gets into the mix now. And it's 5-0. South Carolina just taking care of business right now here in the second half as the Wofford Terriers have been collared and leashed. Third goal of the season for Justin Suko. South Carolina had 5 goals scored against them last season by the Panthers of Florida International. And right now, South Carolina with 4 goals here in the second half on Wofford, and they lead 5-0 with under 20 minutes to play.
Substitution opportunity for the Terriers, number 15, Sam Friedrich coming on in place number 34, Christian.
A shot block there by South Carolina. That was Andre Street there for the Gamecocks.
Offside. Wofford judged to be offside. Results in an indirect kick for the Gamecocks. Bauer with the restart.
Substitution coming up here for the Terriers. Goodman is going to return. South Carolina leading 5-0. 5-0 Gamecocks. A 4-goal second half here for Carolina. Luca Meyer, Tucker Monheimer, Petter Solberg, and then Justin Suko here in the second half. First half, it was Peyton Erickson.
Gamecock substitutions. Coming on, number 27, Mason Ujeda. Number 24, Nick Guido. And number 8, Jared Gould. Will take the place of number 12.
Nick Guido coming on for South Carolina. Number 24.
Number 16, Adam
Macian Ureta, freshman out of Taylor, South Carolina. Number 27 coming on too. Not sure the last time South Carolina scored this many goals, but it has certainly been at least 2 or more seasons. Connor Donahue will take the direct kick, nothing there for Wofford. And substitution. Got a goalkeeper change. Grant Wallum, redshirt freshman out of Leesburg, Georgia. After 5 goals given up by redshirt freshman Shane Burson. Good idea for Ralph Polson to get Burson out of here, out of this match with his psyche intact. Grant Wallum has played 1 game so far this season. 6 saves, 1 goal allowed. 13 shots taken by South Carolina tonight. 5 have found the net. Shutting out Wofford right now, 5-0. And I don't know if this has anything to do with the fact that the scoreboard reads South Carolina 5, Wofford 0, but just notice that the Wofford flag has disappeared amongst the lineup of banners across the way. Not sure if the owner of that piece of material has already left for the evening. I understand he has. Thank you, Dave Easley. Somebody is listening to me. 11:20 remaining in this match. 5-0 South Carolina. Gamecock still on the attack here. Benjamin Gilligan. Gilligan's going to give it away. Punched away by the new keeper, Grant Wallum. Mitchell Myers in for South Carolina on the deck for the Gamecocks. That red hair, Andrew Halloran. Now free kick coming up for Carolina. Mitchell Myers whispering in his ear, Nick Guido. Blocked away by Wofford. South Carolina with a breakout second half. 4 goals here in this half to lead Wofford 5-0. We've got a keeper change here in the second for Wofford. Wallum coming in to replace the redshirt freshman Shane Burson. Burson allowing 5 goals, one off a penalty kick in the first half, and then just a flurry of 4 here in the second half in a span of about 5 to 7 minutes for the Gamecocks. This has been the breakout match that Mark Burson has wanted and that his players have needed.
11, Zach Aversano, and coming onto the pitch, number 9, Rocky.
Especially one to perhaps springboard them into a huge match coming up on the road in Conference USA play this weekend against the league-leading Monarchs of Old Dominion. ODU at 2-0 in the conference. South Carolina 0-1. The match against Marshall postponed, rescheduled for late October 30th to be exact. It will be the last match of the season here at Stone Stadium for Carolina.
Gamecock substitutions coming onto the bench. Number 5, Paul Quildes. Number 23.
So Paul Quildes coming on for Carolina, the German.
20, Seth Whitebush.
Seth Whitebush as well. It is clear the decks for Mark Burson. Everybody on the bench getting some action tonight.
Wofford, number 23, number 26, Andre Street, and number 18, Andrew Halloran.
One of those matches where you certainly earn your letter here tonight. Tied up near side, Benjamin Gilligan out of Aiken, South Carolina. That was a serve. Yeah, corner coming up here for the Gamecocks. 7:10 left to play in a 5-0 match. Gamecocks lead it.
Take the corner kick, number 2, Mitchell Myers.
Oh, great shot and a beautiful save. Wallum is there. It could have been a half a dozen on the board there easily for South Carolina had Wallum not just punched that out of there. That was the best corner that South Carolina has put into play so far this season here at Stone Stadium that I have seen. And an outstanding save on the other end by Wofford. No foul. Gilligan thought he was going to get one over there, but it's a good, solid senior he was lined up against in Kyle Nelson. For Wofford, you still have to be impressed with their seniors, Kyle Nelson and especially Dredon Kelly. Those two defenders have given all they could give tonight.
Offside position.
Carolina.
Indirect kick for Wofford.
So an indirect coming up here for the Wofford Terriers, down 5-0 with 5.5 to play.
Foul on the Terriers.
It's going to be a Terrier foul.
Gamecocks with the direct kick, and Mitchell Myers once again over the ball.
It's going to be Mitchell Myers over the ball. Myers, another one of those guys from Aiken, South Carolina. One from Aiken High School, one from South Aiken High School. That is a good serve in, and boy, that is a collision that is hard, and that hit was felt all around Stone Stadium.
Wofford substitution opportunity, returning number 16, Gabriel Mesa. Mesa replaces number 21, Andreas Surrey.
It's Gabriel Mesa coming on for Andreas Surrey for Wofford. And for South Carolina, up and at him after taking that vicious hit. Mesa on Uretta.
Gamecock substitution coming onto the pitch, number 19, Smith Dawsey. Smith will take the place of Mitchell Myers.
Mason Udueta took that hit, but gets right back up. The freshman from Taylor's, South Carolina, up in Greenville area. Throw coming in, now less than 4 minutes to play. Wofford will send it back. Gamecocks commit the foul here with 3:18.
Against South Carolina.
3:18 remaining in a 5-0 match. Gamecocks pouring it on in the second half, getting 4 goals. Getting things started, Taylor Monheimer Then it was Luca Meyer. Actually, that goal from Meyer coming first off the assist from Monheimer. Monheimer getting into the action. Peter Solberg and Justin Suko. Those four scoring along with Peyton Erickson in the first. And there's Bauer coming in, notching a save. And Bauer with 2 tonight. 8 shots taken by Wofford, 15 by Carolina, and 5 going in. It's a good percentage for the Gamecocks. Less than 2 minutes to play now, a minute and a half remaining in this match, and South Carolina just playing keep away. Somewhat of a four corners around the world going on here to close out what has been a stellar second half for South Carolina. Probably the best 5 to 7 minutes of offensive soccer that Carolina has played in several years.
1 minute remaining in the match. 1 minute.
Getting a flurry of 4 goals in a span of possibly 5 to 7 minutes here in the second half. And just really draining the Wofford Terriers as Carolina just maintained the time of possession all match long.
Foul against Wofford just outside the area.
Wofford really with
Gamecocks will get a direct kick.
no high percentage shots whatsoever. (15 to 8). And this is the most goals for South Carolina since a 5-4 win at Florida International on October 8th. Got to go back to 2014.
7,
Thank you, Michael
6,
Debates,
5,
South Carolina
4,
Media
3,
Relations.
2, 1, 0.
And that's it. The match will come to a close with South Carolina blanking Wofford. It's the first shutout of the season for the Gamecocks as they carry 4 goals in the second half. Adding on to the penalty kick goal by Peyton Erickson in the first to shut out the Wofford Terriers here tonight at Stone Stadium 5-0. The Gamecocks improved to 2-4 on the season. The Wofford Terriers dropped to 1-5-1. Up next for Carolina, it's a road match in Conference USA in Virginia to face the Monarchs of Old Dominion over the weekend. For our entire crew here at Stone Stadium in Columbia, South Carolina, my name is Birch Antley, saying so long from the capital city. We will talk to you next time.